So, hi everybody and welcome back. This is a tutorial series for beginners. It is an overview, and in this video, which is number 33, I think, we are talking about Nanite, right? Is this spelled did I spell that right or pronounce it right? I don't know. Anyway, we are talking about Nanite. That is it. All right. And what is Nanite? Nanite is a new feature for Unreal Engine 5. And before we start, I have to tell you it's more a technical thing. What I mean with that it is not like we used to go to a window and then do something. There is also a window, by the way, for Nanite. When I open up here this one, and you can find here Nanite tools when I click on it, but there is not much to do, and so on at start. More important, Nanite is a technical thing for mostly for static meshes right now. It's still on development, but for Unreal Engine 5 you can enable Nanite for static meshes. I show you what I mean with that. Let's make a demonstration. We open up our content drawer. Let's go to this asset, which I have here imported from Megascans. Of course, you can choose any other asset too, for example from the starter content and so on. But there we click on the asset. This is the static mesh. I click now, right click on it, and then we have again our pop-up menu, and here on top we can enable Nanite. Perhaps it is by default disabled, perhaps not, it depends on the settings, but here we can definitely enable it. So we enable this one. I have already enabled it, and when you enable this, can happen that there is a compiler shading pop up here on the right side and you need to wait, and if not, even better. So then this asset, what we have here, or let's say our static mesh, this one is now use behind the scene the Nanite technique, right? And this is a special technique. But wait a minute, what is Nanite? Well, and what is so cool about it? So let's talk about this. We have enabled Nanite. Yes, I still see nothing, right? The point is, Nanite and the techniques allows you to put on your scene as much as, almost as much as you want assets on your scene, and it will still work. Let's say not perfect, but good, right? And I want to demonstrate you this one in this video, which means I will delete first of all my strange looking landscape. The assets which we imported I keep, because here we have enabled our Nanite, and we create fast a new landscape. I showed you how we do this. We go to select mode, we select landscape, but this time we select a bigger landscape, and we have here already this 63. Let's make it bigger, right? We want this time a very big map. I'm not sure if I really do this. This one looks really big, right? So you can think about it. All time when I demonstrate my character, it was here, and then I walked here, and look, I go here on top to speed up the camera, because now it's so big that it takes even time to go back. And this one is not the biggest size. I could go even this one, and this one is crazy. This one is too crazy. Now look this size, and I think I can even go bigger when I go here on the section 2. Oh my god, this one is, even with speed of camera 7, it takes so long. This is a real big map. And this is crazy, but I'm not doing this because I said my PC is a low PC, but I want to show you that even if you have a low PC, Nanite works. So on YouTube, for example, they show Nanite and the Lumen and so on with very good PCs and very good graphics cards. But here I show you, even with low NPC and low graphic card, it still works. And the only thing is, we make not the craziest example, but we make also a crazy example. Let's go, for example, this one is big enough for us. This will be big enough. This is crazy how big this was. This one, level 8, is very fast. You will see what I mean with fast. When I scroll here down, I make just a little bit, boom, and I fly there. And it took me so long just to go out. And here I have to go back again. Now I'm really slow. No, let's keep it here back. So, that said, you see this map we are going to create. I go to create. I can set up here the default material. Let's set this time directly, and I use this ground moss. Yes, and create. I wait, and I have my strange looking map with moss. Nah, moss looks not so good, right? We go on top. We have to go back to our select mode because we are now here in landscape sculpt mode. It is changing here. Can I manage this? I mean, changing material. No, we can't. We have to go back to select the landscape, go in details here and scroll down to material and change it perhaps again to, let's take grass. Takes a while because, yeah, okay, it's there. And now I think I use this one. Let's see what happens if I start. I fall down because my player start is not, oh, I have forgotten something very important. All time, click on your map, go details, top to transform, and you see there's a very strange location. What I do is most time I just click the back arrow, set it to 0, 0, and then from here you can change it again if you like, but this one is all time the start point. If you want, you can change it so that it's here in the middle point with calculations, then you write it down. But let's forget this one right now because I want to show you Nanite. And you see now this one is not really here. Let's select this fast, and you see it's going very fast. I don't need too much there. Let's see if this is okay. This one is okay. Let's go fast. Where's my player start? Here, I click my player start. Let's put it here also. It's not perfect right now, but you see we can press F. F means focus on the selected item on my keyboard. I press F, it jumps to my player start. And here I use the same trick. Go a little bit up and press End on my keyboard, and it snaps on the ground. And if I play start now, so here we are back with our new map, and now we are ready to create our test. What I'm going to do now is I will select these assets here and will fill this full map here with these assets, and will test if my FPS and time is still okay. Before we go, we have to activate our FPS time. There is an easy way. You have here on the bottom, it says cmd, the command prompt, and here there are console commands, which is very nice later. And here is already one nice stat, which is stat and then space FPS. It's interesting that it's not popping up here. I watched this in the documentation, but why is this not popping up? Normally it should pop up here when you write it down. Perhaps there are some comments which are not integrated right now, or there is another reason, I don't know it myself right now. Anyway, you type this one, stat FPS, enter it, and what you can see now here, little green, I have my FPS and so on. The point is now, if you have a good graphic card, this should be much better. Here, one warning. Let's see. If you set your scalability, here we had this to a higher setting. Let's say epic and cinematic. This FPS can drop down hard because then it activates, for example, shadows and more options with better looking. Let me show you. When I go, for example, I have a very bad PC, so when I go for cinematic here, even with this one, you see my FPS is below low, but it looks also much better. Oops, I'm very fast now. I need this, but let me start this one first. And when I start this, you see it lags like hell because my graphic card is very bad, but that's not the case. That's why, in my case, I changed this fast back to medium, and you see that looks not very good. But for my purpose, perfect. This is what you see right now. This is probably what many players will set their few, not all, but when they have a FPS game, they deactivate shadow, they deactivate all things just to get this FPS high and so on. That's set. And the reason for that is one more note. The reason for that is the texture size, which you can see here, for example, when you go on material and check. Actually, we can watch this here and check the textures. For example, I select this texture, I click on it, and then we read a little bit this tooltip, and you can see the dimensions section there. It says 2000 by 2000. This means 2K textures. And interesting is this normals is also 2K, and this one is also 2K. So with other words, they are very high actually. I'm not sure if we really need them this high. And one more note, if you have a very good graphic card, and I told you already, textures are very important, and the higher resolution you want, the better the graphic, right? Right now we have only 2K and it looks fairly okay. But here is the last note before we go on with our Nanite. If you have high textures, like I said, 4K or 8K, this is crazy. They look much better, but from a distance they might look same as this 2K. So the benefit of high resolution is when we go close. For example, you can see I'm now close to this wall, and if you use, for example, now 8K textures instead of this 2K textures here, this wall would still look awesome. In this case, you can see it's not looking that good compared, let's say, to this distance here. Here, watch this wall from distance, it looks good. But when we come close, and here too, starts not to look that good. And that is the reason why you need 8K or 4K textures for close places where you know I will go close, and when you know if you don't go close anywhere, use just 2K or even lower textures. That makes the whole scene easier. And now we are jumping to create our crazy test with Nanite. I said sorry, I said we are going to fill this map and see what happens with our FPS and our time, and can I run this game at all, or if perhaps my PC is crashing too, who knows. So first of all, let's open this up. Next, let's scroll this a little bit down. Oh, we can, yeah, let's scroll it down, and then we select, these are my static meshes. I click the first one, shift, and I click the last one. And now I use a very simple trick. which you will learn too. If you press Alt and use one of this arrow keys here, arrows, I mean not the arrow keys, I mean the arrows here on the scene, you are duplicating all what you have selected. And we are going to do this. So one time, but the problem is I need go here to the world outliner. I select the first one with shift selected, first shift, then I select it and it selects all. The same goes here, Alt. Let's do this. Then again I scroll up, shift first, and then I select this one. All are selected, Alt again, and here the arrow key. Okay, I'm going to fill this up. Let's see, it's fast. Let's see how much I can go. Shift, Alt. All right, this looks already crazy. And let's go. Shift, Alt. Yes. All right. And now I think that's okay so far. Let's go to this side now. And what I'm going to do is again Shift Alt and zoom. Now will really crazy thing. Let's make it not too close. And we go. We are not finished. We are going. Shift Alt. Let's copy all. Now my PC, of course. Okay, now let's go. Let's see if my PC is going down soon or this program will go down. I hope I'm recording with this PC too right now. This can have an effect too. I hope it's not crashing. Okay, let's go on. Alt and I go here. Is it? Oh, I have it. But it starts to lag. Let's see. Oh, it's stabilized. That was just the creation process where it lags. Now, the last one. Come, let's see. Let me do this too with my low PC. I select all this one. This is crazy now. And now I must be careful if I'm not really breaking down this. And I press Alt and is it breaking? If I'm breaking it, it's not. It did it with my low PC. It did it. It was just the creation processes here crazy. Up and lags too now. Okay, I try to move it with my. All right. I placed it. Okay. And now the very important thing comes now. That was just the, let's make it faster. I'm still so slow even so I created this crazy map with full of assets of this asset what I downloaded from Megascan with 2K textures. And let's watch how many triangles and vertices we can see that too. This static asset just has 2000, not much actually. And but I have no clue if this is much or not, because I have no another designer and a model. Well, perhaps it is much, perhaps it is less. I'm not sure. But at least it sounds not that much. 2000 sounds normal. But what we see right now is crazy. I made this, but now the real test comes. What happens when I press play, right? This is the real test, what we need to know. And I press play, and what I see is amazing. I still have more than 60 FPS with my low PC. Okay, and it works out of the box. And the big question for new starter in Unreal Engine is, yes, it's nice that I can place so many assets here around, but what is so amazing about Nanite now? The point is now, the thing which is what is amazing here is that you can exactly do that what I did. I just placed here, I don't know how many assets, when I know it. Here on the right side, when you see down, it says 3,602 actors. right now on this map, which is fairly, I don't know, never made a game like that, but I think it's fairly good. And right out of the box, here you can see I have more than 60 FPS at time, around 12 milliseconds, and this one is not even optimized and so on. And it works out of the box. And that is Nanite, the system which can give you gives you the opportunity to do this. Of course, you could make this with older engines in a way too, but in a much harder way. You have to optimize, you have to change, you have to use tricks until you achieve something that big. And here in Unreal Engine 5, what we have now here is you do this right out of the box. You just place the assets, and you don't care about optimizing. And yeah, it works out of the box. That's fine. That's not only fine, that's perfect for me and for you probably too, because you don't care about, like I said before, now we have to optimize all things that I can run this or I can use that and so on. This is crazy. And you see I'm still walking here this way, and there is there is a long way to go, and I don't think I will run now here till the end. That takes too long, too much time. The map, it was not even the biggest map, it was the middle one, and it's already really big. And yeah, so what I want to and this one runs now on a low PC. That's crazy too. Okay, I have not the high settings here in scalability and so, but this one is for my needs perfect too. And that is crazy, guys. That is amazing. That we love, that you have something that works out of the box. You don't care because you want to concentrate on your game production, right? You want not concentrate on technical things like, can I place here so many assets, and if not, what I have to do that I can place, and asking you a question and then say, oh, I have to reduce some triangle, so I have to change the texture size and so on. Now I don't care, I just throw it in and say, that's it, finished, let's go on to the next work, instead of wasting time with optimizing like this. Okay, I think I talked again much. Nanite, like I said, is more a technical thing, but an amazing thing, actually amazing. But as a user, you will not care much about it because you are just happy that you can use it, right? I mean, the new user, the new generation will just be happy, and for them it will be probably normal, I say. But the former developer who worked in other engines or for Unreal Engine 4, and so they know exactly what does this mean. They are so happy that they can use something like that. The only problem is, and there is one, let me show you that. This Nanite system works not with all things. For example, as far as I know, it works not with, perhaps they change it and develop it, with characters. For example, the character which you have here, it's still not working with that. So it's because a character is very complex too, and when you have here many characters, for example, you make a city and there are NPC characters walking all around and so on, that will be nice too, that they are working, or I don't know, animation, and if it works with animated assets, this is another question. So there is a lot of potential for Nanite, I think, but believe me, we are just happy that we have. And I think I don't save this big scene. You saw I was here, I was trying to walk this line, and I think I stopped here while I'm talking. And this one was not even the biggest map. And where was it? Let me show you. This was the map which I created, and you can crazy. Look, this the biggest map what you can really create, and then put so many assets in. I made this one. You can go for this one, and this one, let's compare, is 4 times bigger than that what I have. And let's go a little bit more. And if you say I want to go crazy, I want to go really crazy, you can go for this one. And this one is really absolute crazy. You saw how much time I just needed to walk from this point, let's say, to this point. I talked and talked and talked and was here anywhere around. And now you try to walk in this map here and you fill this full with assets. Oh my god, that's nice. That's crazy. And by the way, these are probably open world map or something like that. And yeah, you saw there is also a new template here in Unreal Engine. It is the open world template. I have never tested it. Perhaps I should make a video about this too, and we have to check this out as well. But an open world template looks like this, I assume, but I'm not sure, because you saw it before. I need here already a whole many minutes just walk from here. What you think how many minutes I need here? Just walk here down. And this is just a partial of this whole thing. Oh my god. Okay, I talked here a lot again, and I say Nanite is one of the new features in Unreal Engine 5. But here one note, very important note. Because of Nanite, it might be happen that all the assets and so on which was created, all the let's say example contents might be not work. You can't convert them easy. I'm not sure about this. Perhaps you can, because it must support this, right? This is the problem. And if it's not supporting Nanite, then you have to do it the old way, which is much work way, which you don't want. Anyway, we will find out. I will try to watch this, and if I find anything new in the future, when we come to using Nanite, when you watch a tutorial about Nanite and the use case, and when they show how to use it correctly, perhaps they will definitely, or in the documentation, explain it there, mention it there, and so on. Okay, but now I have enough talked. See you in the next video. Bye.